Welcome, welcome everybody. My name is Wendy Ford from Cash Life Mastery, and today you are joining our show, Breaking Barriers in Business, and we are talking today about how to get more engagement on your blog. Joining me today is my wonderful co-host, the illustrious Chef Katrina. And she will be throwing down some information that will probably blow your mind, because we always give golden nuggets on the show. So if you're missing the show, make sure you join us every Tuesday, 12 p.m. Eastern. Without fail, we're usually always here. I think maybe there might have been a rain day.
Or a hurricane day, yes.
If you want to stop the chef, you can find her at The Chef Katrina, just about anywhere on social media. And if you would like to join me, come ask questions after the show, you can come to Cash Life Mastery on Facebook. So guys, without any further ado, let's get started, because I know how everybody wants to know about more engagement, because engagement means money.
Yeah. So true. Well, thank you so much, Wendy, for having me on here. I love breaking barriers in business. I love the fact that we talk about blogging every single week, because it is such a key element of being successful in business. I have really yet to meet a business owner that didn't have a blog, a successful business owner that didn't have a blog in reality. So I know a lot of people can do it without, but there comes a point for most businesses. I know I've spoken with a lot of network marketers, and I know we're doing a launch right now with a pretty big affiliate or network marketer, right?
Right.
And the one thing they say is that, yeah, they can build a great business, but there's no automation, right? There's no, it's all on them. And we get into business, honestly, Wendy, because we want more family time, more free time, more money. And yet we become like this, the only person that can run our business, the only person that people call is you. And it really just sucks the life out of you. It's like you have no time. You're like, great, I'm making a significant 5, 6 figure, 7 figure business, and I have zero time.
Exactly. I think a lot of entrepreneurs get into this with the thoughts that, somehow the magic fairy is going to take care of all their business needs once they start making money. And it just doesn't work that way. And with your own blog, especially a WordPress site, which Katrina and I preach all the time, have your own personal property, and preferably on WordPress, you can start putting in automation type things that will help you run your business and get some of that family time back.
Yeah. So it's just become a reality. Like I've mentored and spoken to multiple 7-figure business owners, right? High 6, 7-figure network marketers. They're killing their business, and they're just so burnt out because they want automation. And one of the key elements of automation is having your own blog. And the reason for that is that you can answer the questions as a blog post. So anytime you have anybody on your team or brand new or looking for answers, the beautiful thing is that it's there. All you have to do is just share a link, right? And you can educate your team, and you're not repeating yourself day in and day out with the same answers, right? You're just making it simple for them. So having a blog truly is one of the most financially freeing elements of your business. And Wendy, I talked with you before. I mean, I have blog posts to this day that are still getting me leads, still getting me team members joining my business, and all because I just have a blog. So yeah,
it's definitely a long-term play.
Oh, huge.
And people fail to realize that blogging is not a make money quick scheme. Yes, you can put up a blog, and if you drive enough traffic to it, you can make some sales. But the blog is meant to be like a residual income earner for years to come.
Yeah, it's a constant billboard.
Yeah, everything you do is still going to be there. It doesn't go away like the post you put on Facebook this morning,
Yeah, well, it was so funny. I was talking with the local businesses the other day. We were talking about, what the power of blogging is. And I said, the other thing too is when you have a blog, you have a website, and you're sharing and educating your audience, you actually have more authority, right? Because I know a lot of people, I do it myself. If I don't look up your business and it's not there on the internet, I assume you don't have a business, right? Because I can't find you. So it's a way to be found. It's a way to really give credibility to who you are as a business. So owning your own is really important too. So when you talk about how do you get more engagement, how do you bring people to your site? Well, this is where the work starts, right? And especially if you're brand new, you're absolutely going to have to work at promoting your content. I would say that in the beginning, you're going to add an extra 30 minutes to the blog creation just in socializing your blog post. It really takes something from you to go out and let people know that you've created content for your audience, right? Let them know what you've done. Let them know you're going to want to join like blogging groups, right? There's some great Facebook blogging groups. There's some incredible Google Plus blogging groups. And all you're going to ask me, well, which ones do I join? Whichever ones are most relevant for your blog, right? I typically am an affiliate marketer. So I'm going to go and join groups that are dealing with affiliate marketing because that's where I can have the biggest impact. If you're a network marketer, maybe you want to join a home business blogging group, right? Maybe you want to join blogging for professionals, right? So there's different groups you can find out there, but this is how you increase engagement, is that you let people know you've written content. Wendy, I don't know about you, but the worst thing you do is write content and then not tell anybody.
I know, it's like people think, okay, I've written it so they shall come, but it just doesn't happen because you're out there fighting with millions of people who have blogs already. And, you know, how's somebody supposed to find you if you don't tell people?
You do. You have to be your own voice. You have to be, you know, and everyone's blog sucks in the beginning.
Oh, yeah. Please don't go back and look at my old stuff.
Don't even look at mine. It's probably worse.
Horrible.
But it's sucky. And we all start there because every leader was once a beginner, right? We all start in the same place. We all start in the learning process. And Wendy and I can sit here and talk to you about all the crazy stuff that we've done, but that would be like an all-day event of all the stupid stuff on the blog.
Yes,
you know, it doesn't benefit you. So really creating engagement around your blog, first and foremost, is making sure that, and Wendy, we've talked about this before, who are you writing to?
Yeah, you know? The target market. You got to be zoned in with them.
Yeah, you've got to. Sorry, you've got to know who they are. You have to know what their wants and needs are, and the fact that you're writing blog posts that are valuable to them, right? What is it they want to know? What is it that's going to make a difference for them? And,
you know, one of the best ways that we have talked about in the past that I absolutely love, and I see more and more people doing this now, so I'm really proud of them, is asking your customers what they would like to hear about. Yeah. You know, just making that post on Facebook or Twitter. What would help you the most if I did a video about it, or if I did a blog post about it? And just asking them, and you know, 9 times out of 10 people will answer you, and there you go, you've got your article and you know that people are interested in that topic.
Yeah, so when we talk about creating engagement, there's a couple things. So there's the post itself and having a call to action, right? Because you really want people to engage with the content also. So Wendy, I don't know if you use it, but there's one called post or tweet to post.
Yes.
It's a Twitter plugin. It's totally free, which I love. And what you can do is that you can take a statement or a comment and put it into your blog, where those that are reading your blog can click on it, and actually it tweets that out to their Twitter account and gives you a little recognition and tags back your blog. That's a beautiful way to create engagement around your blog. I love that one. The other thing too is the call to action. Shockingly, I've been on a lot of blogs where it's like, what do you want me to do next? Right? Do you want me to comment? Do you want me to share this? Do you want me to click on a link? Because the worst thing we can do is assume that people know what we want them to do, which is a total farce. You really have to let people know. You see it in commercials like, come on down, we have this sale. You'll see it, you know, in different ways, but you've got to let them know that there is something you want them to do. And the person that does this the best wins. I promise you.
Yeah.
Calls to action are so powerful.
And, you know, a lot of times people will put just links within their blog to products and services and stuff, and they think that that's the call to action. And It is in some ways, but at the end of your blog, you have literally got to say, please comment below if you enjoyed this post. Please click here if you want more information about XYZ. You have to spell it out. You would not believe how quickly people will just, you know, read your blog, and if there's nothing there, they will do absolutely nothing. And even sometimes when you put the call to action,
They'll do nothing.
They'll do nothing. So, you know, I kind of like to maybe put a little call to action at the beginning of my blog and at the end. That's something that I've started doing when I'm writing.
And I guess for those that are really new to blogging, there's a chance that your call to actions, you're like, well, I'm telling people to do this and do that, and nothing's happening. That's pretty typical.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is that your audience is just getting to know you. You're starting to build your credibility with your audience. I have a lot of bloggers that I know that probably for the first 6 months to a year really didn't get much comments on their blog, right? And it's just the kind of name of the game. It's being consistent and not letting the comments dictate your success of your blog. The more you blog, the more you put it out there, that's where your success is. That's where the magic is going to happen. Even
leaders like, you know, Ray Higdon will tell you that it took a long time for his blog to become popular and viral, and to the point that, you know, people were just coming to his blog because they knew him and they were looking for information.
Yep.
You know, one thing that he does, Katrina, is he emails his list every single time. You know, he has new content, and that's one thing that is another way to automate your website, is to have that list ready to go. And every time you do a new blog, make sure the people on your list get a notification information about that.
Yeah, and there's actually a new plugin for that will actually allow people to come to your site, and there'll be a pop-up when they go to your blog asking if you want notifications every time they create a new blog post. And what will happen is that you will get notified. You'll actually get an email saying, hey, new content on X, Y, and Z blog, which is extremely powerful and a great tool to use as a marketer.
What's that plugin? Do you know?
I'm not off the top of my head, but I'll make sure I post it around. I'll get it to you to post inside this video.
Okay,
the other thing also is you should be building a list. That means that there should be a way for you to, what we call a lead magnet, a bribe, a giveaway, an offer, however you want to call it. But it should be some sort of exchange of information for an email address. And again, those that do it the best gives you a list, right? Gives you a way to do this and let people know what's going on, what training do you have, what content are you doing. So it's really important. I've done this on Facebook too, Wendy, on your fan page. There's usually a button on your fan page that you can set up for either like learn more, connect with me, buy here, whatever that button is on the page itself. Typically I have a join, like a sign up to my list, right? So I have like a sign up button, and the sign up button actually puts them onto my general population list, so that I can email them anytime I have a new product, a new offer, a new blog post, whatever it is. That is just my way to continue engaging and being in front of them. So really, really powerful.
Well, you know, I think if more people would think of their blog as a socialization tool with their customers, that it would go better. You know, but people think of it more of a, I'm just going to write this article and people are going to learn information and I'm just going to send them out, you know, information. But that's not, it's what your customers want. Yes, they do want the information, but believe it or not, if they are connected to you, they want to socialize with you. They want to get to know you, you know. So if you, within your blog, when you're writing, can think of it more of a information/socialization tool, then I think that people would get a lot more reads, carryovers, people actually clicking and using their call to action, comments, things of that nature.
Yeah, I'm not ignoring you. I'm actually trying to find the link, the push notification button. So it's not me ignoring you. I'm actually digging through, and I'm notorious for this. I am a index card freak. And I literally, and this is like my biggest downfall and my biggest win, is I put information on index cards, like checklists and things I need to click
Don't
off.
feel bad, because if I didn't have this right here, I don't have brain cells. This is where my brain is. My journal and my schedule, notes go on the side for things that I need to do or learn or take care of or look at, and schedule during the week. So
Yeah.
I couldn't live without it.
But I'm literally a junkie when it comes to this, and so I'm like, oh yeah, I have it here. So it's on one of my note cards on my desk right now, that this information for push notifications. I just have to find the right one, and once I do, I'll get that information to you. But I just think it's funny that that's literally how my brain works, is everything's in, and I literally have a box of just index cards that I create for all my knowledge. So yeah, good times. Yeah, so back to engagement around that. Engagement also requires that you are socializing your blog. So we talked about that originally, and I want to make sure you guys are aware that there are some key social media sites. There's also something called OnlyWire. That's really great for automation. Hootsuite is another one that I like for putting content out there and just kind of scheduling that. Also Edgar, which isn't cheap at all, but it's a great tool for getting your content out there over and over again for repurposing. So the idea is that there are a few social media sites you absolutely want to be sharing your content on. Of course, by default, Facebook.
Oh yeah.
Number one.
The king of social media is
Yeah.
Facebook. People, whether you like Facebook or not, it's just
Facebook. Yeah, so make sure you're putting your blog on your Facebook business page, right? So put it on your business page, your actual page, and then share that to your personal. There's some real power when you can share from your business page to your personal page. It actually works better. The second one I'm going to say for me right now is Pinterest. Because Pinterest is one of the it's the biggest, baddest collaboration out there. It really is the best of the best in terms of getting content out there. And what I love about Pinterest is that it really forces you to create content that's valuable for your audience, right? And Pinterest is desperate for new content. 80% of the content on Pinterest is all repins. So with that being said, getting your content, getting your website out there is hugely beneficial right now. Like probably one of the most important things you could be doing. The other ones I would say next are going to be Twitter is a really big one, and Google+. Shockingly, and I get this all the time, Wendy, I have people message and email me going, how are you ranked on the top 10 for Google search? And most of the time it's because of the comments I'm writing around my blog content, right? So Google+ is also part of Google's search engine, and you can show up in the top 10 for search based on the connections you have with people on Google. So first off, it's really important to be growing your Google+ community, even though you think it's maybe dead. And it's really important to be posting on Google+ as a search tool for your content and your blog. Like, I can't tell you how valuable that is. I get ridiculous leads off of Google+, off of posts that I put up there years ago.
Well, you know, even here on YouTube, like when I set up our show for today, it lets us give a small link, almost like a Twitter link, which actually it goes to Twitter too and Google+, just to let them know about, you know, your upcoming content. So, you know, that is even built into YouTube. So YouTube is seeing that as valuable to get that out there on Google+.
You know what's amazing to me is every time we do one of these live hangouts, Wendy, there is a guy out there that basically tweets us and calls us out on Google for our contributions. I see it on Facebook too. I don't know if you get notified for them, but he basically says, he's like, hey, these are the people that are out here doing YouTube training live. And since there's so few of us doing this, he's actually giving us lots of love and contribution because we're out here making a difference for our bloggers. We're out here teaching and training. And he's picked us out. I think like there's only like 7 or 8 of us.
Okay, you're talking about Ross Brand with Live University. Yes, I connected with him and let him know about our show, and he is definitely doing a wonderful job getting the information out about us. He's definitely doing that. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
You know, and it's just crazy that the connections you make on social media, the people that see what you're doing. I have leaders literally calling me and asking me about my Pinterest course, asking me about my blogging course. They want to know what I'm up to, all because of the fact that I have a blog where I share information, right? That's the
It is
magic.
about connections too. You know, one way to definitely get more engagement around your blog is to, you know, like you say, if you're in some of these blogging groups, or you might be doing live stream and using your video for your blog like we do.
Yep.
And, you know, so you would connect with some of these live stream people and say, hey, you know, I live stream, but I put it in my blog. You know, would you check it out? Join my channel. Anything like that is going to create engagement, because here in YouTube, after the video, and even before the show, you can see our information, which is going to lead, well, for me, eventually back to my blog post, because we're redoing our .com. But for, you know, for Chef, she's already got her site up and looking beautiful. Kudos to her. And you know, just you can leave that information. So anywhere on any type of social media, I see a lot of people on YouTube that actually do videos, and then they don't put their information in the comments, and I'm like, wow, lost opportunity.
Yeah. So I mean, there's so many ways around, guys, for those that are watching, about how to build your business with your blog. And it's one of the reasons that Wendy and I are so passionate about teaching this. Like, it's, you know, we talked about, you know, I think we're coming up one, we'll talk about keywords, right? How to be found and how to be searched on social media. And, you know, I have a lot of people asking me, it's like, well, the statistics have changed, things have changed. And I'm thinking, not really.
No.
Like, the information given to you may have been a little bit less, but I promise you, people are still going online and searching specific terms, words, and using that to get found is one of the most valuable pieces that you can possibly do. And you can only pull that off through content, through your blog. Facebook will give you rank for your page, for your business page. It'll give you rank for your Pinterest account, and it'll give you rank for your YouTube and your blog. Like, really, those are the only 4 things right now that are absolutely searchable. And in terms of content, Pinterest, Google+, and YouTube and your blog are the only content that can be searched and actually be singled out individually to have you rank and be found on the internet. And it's such a powerful, powerful tool to use. And it's just shocking to me when people say, I want to grow my business and I want to be found, how few people are really, you know, it does take some time and effort. I will admit that, especially in the beginning, but the payoff is massive.
Yeah, I know, like, when I first got started, and, you know, I hadn't made a dime doing this yet, and I was still learning. You know, it's so easy to get in. You know, there's so many things you have to do. You have to get that website set up. You have to figure out your niche. You have to learn how to talk to your customers. You have to figure out what social media is going to work for you and your business. I mean, it is a process, guys, so please don't get discouraged. And I tell all of my clients, especially if they're just starting out, you know, just go ahead and keep it in your mind that your first year is probably not going to be profitable. And 90% of everything you do, you're going to fail at. But guess what? You're going to learn. You're going to understand the process. By the end of that first year, you'll know what you're doing, and you'll know what you shouldn't do. Squirrel syndrome, which I had really, really bad. And my coach really kind of chewed me out about that at one point in time. But, you know, it is definitely a process, guys. And, you know, Katrina and I have both been through that. I mean, Katrina's been doing this a lot longer than I have. And, you know, some of the mistakes that she made, I'll just look at her like, how did you do that? She's like, I was in the beginning. I was learning. I mean, it's like, even the leaders out there in the industry, I mean, you listen to like Ray Higdon and some of these other people talk, and they'll tell you about some of the dumb stuff they did, and it's like, wow, you know, you can't really believe that they made that kind of mistake. But everybody does it.
We all do it in the beginning. Even with training in place, like, even if you like buy training and everything else, there's a good chance you're still going to do something you probably shouldn't do.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's human nature, because we all try to shortcut it. We all think we have a better way of doing it than what we're learning. So not true.
Well, you know, I know for me, I don't know about you, but when I joined Elite Marketing Pro, that is when things started changing for me, because that community actually keeps me on track, helps me, you know, with that. I don't have to go buy other products and services, so I don't get that squirrel thing going on. If I need something, I know right where to go. I can go in my back office. The training's already there. And then there's also steps and processes to help keep me on track. And of course, the community and the leaders in the community, definitely, if you have something that you need answered, you can get it quickly, so that way you can move on to whatever you need to get done instead of spending hours and hours searching for something. So
yeah,
that's definitely got me over that hump, you know, after that first few years of struggling, and then finally getting in the community with EMP. It just definitely moved me forward. You know, I know for you, you just kind of went, when you joined, you just kind of went barreling in, didn't you?
Yeah, when I joined Elite Marketing Pro back in the day, when it was just a product, I was just unstoppable, because I saw that there was training, and I also recognized that this was training that I could stop buying everything else. So I did come in at the VIP level, because I just wanted all the tools of learning how to build online. I just wanted them in one place. I didn't want to have a product over here, a product over there, this over here, try to match different leaders with different ideas. What I liked about Elite Marketing Pro is that I got everything I needed in one place, Wendy, and I got to really learn from the leader that was pretty much a mentor to almost every internet marketing leader that you and I have been in contact with. And just the fact that he continues to mentor, he continues to make a difference, right? I was like, I'd rather learn from the master, the sensei, the big guy, and really get that training, because then I can start taking in other people's training. Then I can kind of see what everyone else is doing, because those are just basically the same information, just tweaked a little bit to capture another little part of the market. And so that's the one thing I liked, was that I just had the ability to really connect with somebody that I wasn't being told 20 different things. I could follow one path, one thought process, put what I needed together in marketing. And to this day, by following that, in the last 3 years, I've gotten speaking engagements. I've been on stage multiple times. I've launched 2 different products in that time period. I've built out, you know, local businesses. I host local workshops. I mean, 3 years, Wendy, and all I did was just say, I'm tired of being distracted, and I just want one place where I can go and focus and have every resource I need. And that's what I found with Elite Marketing Pro.
And it's invaluable, because if you stop and think about it, you know, we're talking about engagement. Engagement is a lot of hard work. And until you can afford some of the more expensive tools that truly automate your entire business, it's just, if you're a solopreneur, get ready to work your ass off. And I do not say this lightly.
Oh, I know.
Because, you know, if you are not, you know, really focused on what you're doing, you don't have a marketing tool like we do with EMP to help you get the answers and stuff, you're going to be spending so much time trying to learn that you're not going to be able to do everything you need to do for engagement. Because you stop and think about this nowadays, and this is probably something that we don't necessarily suggest, but nowadays your customers expect to find you everywhere.
Yeah.
They want you on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and let me tell you, because I do it, it is extremely hard to keep up. I've had to start limiting that. You know, we do our live stream show 1 day a week. We do Instagram, you know, once a day. We do Snapchat one or 2 times a week, you know, because trying to keep that up 7 days a week is impossible.
Yeah.
Impossible. So, you know, you want to get something to where you can get those answers quickly, stay focused, you know, stay within stay within your lane of what you're doing for your niche. Don't get the squirrel syndrome and try to go off track with that. Put marketing tools in place to help you with your engagement. There's, like I said, there's so many. I know Katrina mentioned the tweet to post coming from your blog. A lot of people use Hootsuite. I happen to use Sociocaster. It really does help with engagement, guys. People say don't use auto posters, but I do not know why they say that, because it helps with engagement. I mean, if you look at your business page and you're using an auto poster, you need to go in there and post yourself too, but at least you've limited the amount of times per day that you have to go do that.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the big concern, Wendy, is that we don't want you guys to automate everything. Like, you cannot automate a business and expect it to grow. Like, you're going to have to show up and personally engage. So when people comment on stuff, you're going to have to go and comment back. Like, your ability to engage in the conversation is what's going to make the difference. So while automation is an incredible tool, it doesn't replace you and the conversations you have on social media. And
well, sometimes, like, if you use the automation tools, one example of the way I do it, I have a automation tool, like I said, my Sociocaster, and I have it spread out like every 30 minutes. And I know that on the half hour, my Sociocaster might post something for me. So on, like 15 or 45 hour of the hour, I'll try to go in myself, and it leaves it to where, at least if something comes up, say I have an emergency during the day,
absolutely.
It's there. I didn't have to that day.
Yeah. And I totally agree with you on that one. I absolutely agree. Like, it's a great tool to be using in the background, and it doesn't replace your actual integration.
Exactly. I mean, right. And that's where I think people fail with automation, is they just go and think, okay, well, I'm going to load up my automation tool, and then I ain't got to do no new.
Yeah, and that's what I want people to understand you can't do.
Exactly.
Like, even like for me, because I use automation on my fan page, I still have, like, they do okay, but at the moment I start like posting like what I'm doing around in my life, when I start sharing things, like that's when the magic happens.
And one thing that I've found that helps with engagement is just to do something silly. Like, I don't know if you guys saw on my fan page this week, I put out there some pictures of myself with blonde hair and some old pictures of myself with brown hair. And I told everybody that I couldn't decide and to help me decide. And I probably had, I know, at least 100 comments. And it's still going. And I've already dyed my hair brown. So everybody voted brown. But, if you do something like that, and so you've got a post that's really, really engaging, and the next thing you do is put a link out to your blog post, So when they're coming to see that post that engaged, 9 times out of 10, they're going to look to see what else you have.
Yep. There you go.
So if you've got one that's really engaging well and people are commenting and liking and stuff, that is a really good time to put a link to your blog post, the next thing.
Yep. I think that's beautiful. I think we covered a lot around engagement. I know we're just a little over our time limit.
Yeah, definitely.
But I know you guys are getting tons of value out of it. Like, I love talking about blogging. It's such a beautiful thing.
With you and I, we could probably sit here for 24 hours straight, and as long as people brought us coffee and water. But anyway, so I guess we both need to move on with our day, and we need to let our viewers move on with theirs. So guys, I want to remind you that if you want to stalk the chef, you can find her at The Chef Katrina just about on any social media. And also within the description on our channel, we have her blogging course, so make sure that you grab that, and her website, and also places that you can connect with me, Cash Life Mastery on Facebook right now while we're redoing our website. And make sure that you subscribe to the channel, so that way every week you can get a notification of what we're doing next and when we go live, because we really like to have you guys here with us live. And I think that's it. Just remind you guys, 12 p.m. Eastern for Breaking Barriers in Business every single Tuesday.
Yep. And for those of us that are in the U.S., for our family and friends here, wishing you a very happy Thanksgiving in a couple of days. So thank you and for being here and being part of our world. I really appreciate every single one of you for making an impact in my life. So thank you.
Yes, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Don't eat too much turkey. And if you do, take a nap. It always helps. All right, guys, take care. If you have any follow-up questions, be sure to put them in the comments or come on over to Cash Life Mastery and ask away, and we're glad to answer questions after the show. Take care, guys.